Hello, and thank you for joining the Distributed Republic webcast. Let's jump into today's workshop on leadership in the age of AI. And as I've said, I have the fantastic Jonscott with me today. Jonscott, would you like to give yourself the full justice of an introduction and what you do?
Sure. And again, to echo Jamie, I'll make this succinct. So my name is Jonscott Turco. My company, one of them is humanix.com, and I also have mixed.ai. I'm an organizational psychologist. I've been working around the world for more than 20 years, helping organizations create courageous cultures that drive innovation, engage and retain key talents, and grow bottom line results.
Let's jump into our first question, which is, how does AI impact transformative leadership and corporate culture? And what can leaders do to prepare for this shift?
Yeah, it's a great question. I've done a bit of research in addition to this, the normal experiences I bring to this. So I'll answer this kind of backwards, right? So what can leaders do to prepare for the shift? I think one is to be sure to embrace the fact. So I think leaders need to understand that the way artificial intelligence, Web3 is a macro of artificial intelligence for the purposes of our talk today. It's going to transform every aspect of how the organization functions, how people interact with one another, and how your bottom line is driven. Your customer interactions. I mean, every facet of business is going to be interacted with and impacted. So leaders need to be prepared for this by staying on top of current AI trends.
Great. So how can leaders use AI to address job insecurities and anxieties among employees due to potential automation?
So this is a tough one, right? And I see some of the comments, new opportunities, Matthew said, being hopefully creating jobs that are lost, of course. So I think that first and foremost, for leaders in general, and for all of us, frankly, transparency and communicating, people often ask me, because I've been doing this quite a long time, what's the most important leadership tip, tool, strategy? And I said, leaders who impress me at this point are leaders that feel very comfortable saying, I don't know. I think having transparent communications, as I said, embracing I don't know. So I encourage leaders and everyone to get involved, learn about what's happening, stay on top of the trends. There's tons of information coming on a regular basis. And also, looking at the combination, it's not a binary decision. You're not going to flip a switch and say, Jamie's gone, he's replaced by AI. These are going to be hybrids. So people are going to be partnering with AI. It's going to be a integrated process of decision-making for leaders. And I think it has a huge and vast opportunity to change how we work, how we live, and consequently how businesses drive the future of their business and our world in general.
Let's go on to our next question, which is, what strategies can organizations implement to educate their workforce about the benefits of AI?
It's interesting. First, again, to keep on top of the information to make sure that they're current. So I think looking at the opportunities for collaboration between human employees and technology, I'll say as a sweeping piece, obviously AI is one of them. And it happens a lot more than we may realize already. I think this is part of the key, right? I think as I sit here and I work and I ask, Alexa or Siri, what's next on the calendar, or whatever it is, like we're interacting with things much more regularly. I think transparency is a key. And I saw in the comments, I think the I don't know is a really great indicator of vulnerability. So I think transparency, I think continuous monitoring of AI advancements, so making sure that you kind of stay on top of things is important. I think continuously investing in agile business models. So I think, transparency, encouraging risk, having a risk appetite, encouraging innovation, which again encourages risk, I think is really critical.
I know we had a couple more questions, Pam, but we've got so many comments and questions. I think it's more relevant to be able to go and answer what people are asking. So sure. I'm going to bring up a few. So let's start with Agnes' one here. Based on how people are embracing AI and using it in their day-to-day activities, do you think AI is going to encourage innovations and creativity in various industries?
So Agnes, great question. I think that it's an absolute yes and an absolute no, right? So I think it depends on the industry and the people driving those. I think you can see it now with ChatGPT. I have a lot of lazy ChatGPT people who are like, just ask it simple questions, aren't really concerned about prompts. They just want it to summarize things or give them, whatever it is. You have people who are like building it in, like, like Jamie has a great AI assistant and a number of different processes automated, and they're digging into what are different ways this can impact and help us. And to, again, think about this in a non-binary way. It's not human or AI. The artist said she has a non-human collaboration. If we look at it this way, look at artificial intelligence as non-human collaborators. As and again, I'm giving you one example, but looking at it that way, I think, is a really important way to look at it. I think creativity and is also about psychological safety and saying, this may work, this could be innovative, let's try this. I think being a leader that encourages that are really critical.